Who is Ricky Brown? You are Graves? You are Graves. And you are Thomas. Switch places for me, so I don't. Okay. Gentlemen, all of you are charged with racing on the highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Whoa, did you catch that? Texas doesn't play around with street racing. Judge Fleischer just dropped the hammer. Lose your car, lose your freedom, and good luck surviving Houston without wheels. This is why you never admit to racing those. Confessions just handed the day a slam dunk case. Think these guys regret talking to cops now?
You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Please.
The nature of this case is a racing on a highway case, so I just want to let you know that these dim summaries will be separate for each defendant because they were stopped at different locations, if that makes sense. Okay. On April 17th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was on routine patrol when he observed a Silverado pickup truck and a Cadillac motor vehicle accelerate at a high rate of speed side by side in an attempt to outdistance one another. The officer observed a third vehicle, a Dodge Charger, increasing speed while following the other two motor vehicles. The officer accelerated approximately to 108 miles per hour in an attempt to catch up with the three vehicles. The officer noted the posted speed limit on the roadway was 65 miles per hour. The officer notes that he was traveling at 101 miles per hour, maintaining view of the vehicles and recording the incident with his dash camera. The Cadillac and the Silverado truck exited the freeway, and the officer got right behind the pickup truck and paced it, traveling 85 miles per hour. A traffic stop was conducted on the Silverado, and the defendant admitted to the officer he was racing with the other individuals. While speaking with the defendant...
We're talking about Brown, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And while speaking with the defendant, the other two vehicles arrived on scene and admitted to the officer that they were racing along with the defendant. I guess that covers that.
Who came and admitted?
It says the other two defendants.
The other two came in.
Yes, Your Honor, that's what it states. I'd be happy to read the other.
I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your cases, gentlemen. Let me tell you now that the state of Texas and the wisdom of our legislature has made it extremely easy for district attorneys across the state of Texas to seize and take cars from those who are arrested for racing. I have had cases in here where they have seized and taken a car from someone who was caught multiple times participating in this type of behavior. Don't do it. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
If I find that you do, the first thing I will do is I will put you in jail, and then I'm going to take your ability to drive away from you while this case is open. Living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive blows. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Each of you, none of you participate racing, street takeovers, donuts, reckless driving, driving maniacally, or putting others' lives in danger. Do you understand? If I find that you're driving at 100 or something like that, it's just not going to go well for you guys. So do you mind filing conditions on each of, no racing, reckless driving, takeovers, anything of this nature, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is GOLD. The judge isn't just handing out bond conditions, he's handing out life advice. Get a job, stop the self-destruction, mic drop. Notice how he ties reckless behavior to unemployment? Classic Fleischer, part judge, part therapist. Bet this defendant didn't expect a career coaching session today.
And then also, let's go through each one to see if they have valid licenses.
Yes, Your Honor. For defendant Thomas, we do have an eligible license.
Okay. Also, each of you you're not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. You must have car insurance. If you don't have either, you are not allowed to drive.
For defendant Brown, we do have an eligible license as well.
Okay.
And then for defendant Graves, the license is eligible.
All right. Gentlemen, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Brown? Okay. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Okay, we're going to give you time to go hire a lawyer. We're going to give you 30 days. When you come back, please have a lawyer. I'm going to have you each go to Victoria, sign a reset. Then we will have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. We have enough death on our streets. Don't contribute to it. You understand?
Sure.
All right, come on, guys. All right, you were Jose Castillo.
Yes, sir. Oh.
Mr. Castillo, you're charged with failure to stop, give information. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you. The defendant was driving westbound on 9100 Willow Meadow at approximately 7 p.m. and crashed into a parked white Chevy Silverado. The defendant's right side mirror struck the left side mirror of the parked pickup truck. The complaining witness identified the defendant's vehicle with surveillance video and rode around the neighborhood until he located the vehicle. The complaining witness gave the address to the officers who went to the location. They met with the defendant, who stated he was aware he hit the truck, but was going to go back later.
Okay. Mr. Castillo, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. You run his license, please.
Yes, sir.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. If I find that something like this happens again, or if you pick up a new case or become a danger, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir. Tell the lawyer.
Okay. Mr. Castillo, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Okay, we're going to give you time. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We will have you take your seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. Once you sign it, then you'll be free to go.
Hold up, did he just say he knew he hit the truck and left the scene? That's a felony hit and run in most states. Casta is lucky this is just a failure to stop charge, but that admission just made the prosecutor's job EASY. Pro tip, never volunteer guilt before talking to a lawyer.
Please.
All right, Judge, page 5, Contreras, come on up.
Sir, you are charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you. The defendant and the complaining witness were in an Uber on April 17th, 2025, when a fight broke out. The defendant jumped on top of the complaining witness. The complaining witness and the defendant were dropped off by the Uber driver at the complaining witness's house. Once at the property, the complaining witness attempted to go inside. The defendant started a physical altercation where he struck the complaining witness with closed fists, causing pain and injury to the complaining witness. The complaining witness was able to get away from the defendant and lock the door with the defendant outside. The complaining witness has visible injury and bleeding of the face observed by officers who arrived on the scene.
Relation, and is there alcohol or dope involved?
Let me take
Just pled to an assault a month and a half ago, and here we are again.
Your Honor, the nature of the relationship, it states as a roommate of 2 weeks, and they were at a club known as Fuegos on Washington Street. And Your Honor, according to the dim summary, the complainant stated the defendant got too drunk.
We are now going to handle whatever issues that are arising with you. If I find that you're another danger to the community, I will put you in jail. You're ordered not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to put an ankle monitor on you so I know that you're not consuming. You are not allowed to go to bars, nightclubs, anything of this nature where alcohol is primarily sold. Do you understand? So I'd like to put a scram on him. Okay, yeah. Waive the fee. You're not to have contact with the complaining witness in this case. If I find that you do, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? What do you do with yourself these days?
Stepdad has taken away everything from us. So we're trying to figure that out. And that's why I'm moving with Chris.
It's time for you to get a job. And I'm making that a condition of your bond. You're not doing anything and you have way too much time on your hands, so you're becoming self-destructive. This is now your second assault case within the last month and a half. No more. Do you understand?
Sir,
Can you reach out to the MAC for him, please? And then you're not to be in possession of weapons as well. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we will have you take your seat in the jury box. You're going to have to get with them for your bond conditions, then we'll get you a lawyer soon. Good morning, Mr. Crenshaw. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 19th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. An officer met with the complaining witness who stated that the defendant has been staying with him off and on. The complaining witness advised that he came home and found garbage in the apartment, which the defendant denied having done. The complaining witness stated the defendant started recording him, accusing him of threatening the defendant. The defendant then put the phone in the complaining witness's face, and the complaining witness took the phone, at which point the defendant punched the complaining witness several times in the face, causing pain. The defendant then attempted to take an electric scooter, which eventually struck the complaining witness in the leg, causing pain. The officer observed the complaining witness to have multiple injuries on his face.
All right, Mr. Crenshaw, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of any weapons. You understand? I don't see that a MOA or a protective order has been issued. Do you? You see a tray protective order?
The stipulations of my bond. I know that.
On Crenshaw, okay. I'm now entering in what's called a mattress order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Mr. Montgomery as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is a stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where he lives or where he works. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you violate this court order, the state can and probably will file a violation of a protective order. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Crenshaw? Do you work?
Yes, sir. I'm currently looking for a job.
Okay, it's time.
Yes, sir.
We're going to make sure that that happens. So 2 weeks, I'm going to bring you back and I want to see what you have done to get a job. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well for you.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you understand? All right. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer. I'm going to have you go to Victoria Center Reset. We will have you take a seat in the jury box. I'm going to get your bond conditions. Do not leave until you sign them.
Yes, sir.
You're not to have contact. You're not to be in possession of weapons. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Like a
Oh, hold on. Come sign for your protective order.
All right, Judge, next is page 6. Easy.
Hey,
Come on up.
can you file the no contact or weapons, please, on that? Mr. Crenshaw? Okay. Good morning, Ms. Woodward. Good morning, sir. So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
Okay, Your Honor.
On April 17th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer made contact with the complaining witness who stated that she had a green light and the defendant's vehicle struck her on the driver's side. The complaining witness was transported to the hospital. A wheel witness stated that he saw the defendant driving at approximately 90 miles per hour and run the red light and hit the complaining witness's vehicle. The wheel witness followed the defendant, and the defendant stopped a few hundred yards away from the scene. The wheel witness stated that he believed the defendant was attempting to flee, but only stopped due to mechanical issues with his vehicle. The law enforcement officer came into contact with the defendant and noticed slurred speech, an odor of alcoholic beverage, red bloodshot eyes, disorientation, and inability to follow instructions. The defendant admitted to driving. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 was recorded on the HGN, and the defendant refused the walk and turn and one leg stand. The defendant also refused to provide a specimen. A blood warrant was obtained and a blood draw was executed.
Judge, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand? Can you look to see any prior DWIs and if he has a license, please?
Big mistake. In Texas, refusing a breath test triggers an automatic blood warrant, and now this guy's facing both a DWI and contempt for noncompliance. Judges hate when defendants waste time. Side note, that leg injury excuse never works when you're blowing a .15.
No prior DWIs and his license is eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. As long as you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance, you may continue to drive. But like I said, don't consume alcohol. Don't use illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you if and when you have to come back. For now, we'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get the pre-trial for your bond conditions and then you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey, I don't have the, bond conditions for the third driver, Thomas. Did you file conditions on Thomas as well?
I did, Your Honor.
You didn't? Okay. Maybe we just don't have it yet. The second offense, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 17th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer observed a motor vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed. He observed the vehicle brake hard to slow down. The officer then got behind the vehicle and observed it to have an expired registration as of January 2025. A traffic stop was conducted and the defendant was identified by his Texas ID card. The officer approached the motor vehicle and observed the defendant in the driver's seat and the defendant to have glossy eyes, slurred speech, and an odor of alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted to the officer that he had 5 to 6 beers prior to driving. The defendant stated he has a leg injury on his right leg. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 4 out of 6 on the HGN, a 4 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 1 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The defendant stated that despite his leg injury, he does work out and have an active life. The defendant stated he was a 5 out of 10 level of intoxication on a scale from 1 to 10. The DIC was read and the breath test strip was refused. A blood warrant was issued and the blood draw was executed.
Okay. Mr. Martinez, can you run his license, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you.
Yes, sir.
If I find that you're using, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you
Yes, sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm now placing a restriction on your license. You are not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have one, I will put you in jail.
Yes, sir.
We are sending notice to DPS so that every single officer in the state knows that you're required to have an interlock in your car. So if you're caught wherever and you don't have one, officers will put you in jail.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir. Your Honor, can I speak?
Don't.
No, good. I got.
Don't. I don't want you to say a thing. Now's not the time. You have the right to remain silent, exercise that right. Just don't say anything. Don't. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Martinez?
Not a phone.
Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. We'll take a look to see whether you qualify. I need to know everything about you, where you work, how much money you're making, how much money you have at the bank, what kind of car you drive, how many cars, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, everything. And then I'll take a look to see whether you qualify.
Judge, we have that the license is not eligible.
You are not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, Mr. Martinez, and I'm telling you now, I don't give a rat's behind what your excuses. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. This affidavit is what you're going to be signing, promising you're not going to drive. Nothing in this world can justify you getting into a car and driving. Jesus comes down and needs to ride to church. Do not drive. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Castillo,
Because you don't have a license, because you're not going to drive, I'm going to give you a portable device that you're going to take with you everywhere you go to prove to me that you're not consuming.
That's what I was gonna talk to you about. I was talking about my bond conditions.
Mr. Martinez, in the last 1.5 years, you have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are on your 6th case within the last 1.5 years. There's nothing at this time that you can try to negotiate with me. Do you understand?
I understand, but it's about work.
Stop. All I want is my streets to be safe.
Yes,
And
sir.
if I find that you're in danger, anything 1 iota, it's just not going to go well for you.
I understand.
Okay, do you mind giving an application and we'll have you swear to us?
Are you 45 Thomas?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, yeah, we never got Thomas's.
Gary and Thomas?
Yeah, I'll meet them.
Raise your hand.
Ready? Mr. Gallegos.
Daniel Martina Pedraza.
God bless him.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Page 9?
yes, Judge.
Okay.
Hey, Judge, by the way.
Hey, how are you?
It's very
Happy
good.
Friday, man.
Higher.
Did you say Marquina?
Martina Pedraza.
You, hey, this is now not the time for you to talk to him about this. You are Marquina Pedraza.
Yes.
You're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 18th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle stalled in a moving lane of traffic. The law enforcement officer approached the vehicle and found the defendant in the driver's seat asleep with the vehicle running and foot on the brake pedal. The law enforcement officer woke the defendant up and noticed a mild odor of alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, and glossy eyes. The defendant admitted to consuming alcohol. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 on the HGN was recorded. A 7 out of 8 on the walk and turn. A 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to breath and blew a .157 and a .154.
Can you look at my WIs and licenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
So we, Marquina, to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using any alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you because they sweep it hourly, if they fine you, they will put a detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in there until this case is over with and then you get shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive, and that is also a bond condition.
Your Honor, we have no prior DWIs, but the driver's license data is not populating at all. There's no indication.
No license.
No license, Judge.
Do not drive, Mr. Marquina. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. Nothing in this life can you say that will justify driving. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Temptation is big. Just don't do it.
Okay.
So for now, I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. We will get you to Victoria where you will sign a reset. You will eventually get with pre-trial for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. Because you have a lawyer, I'm going to waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel, and he will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me that he cannot get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging phone calls, text messages, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. If they call you to go take a drug test and you fail to appear, a warrant for your arrest will be issued.
Yes, sir.
All right, come on.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks. Blessing.
Yes, Your Honor.
We need the cause number on this.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is 2560811. You are Miss Morales Vega.
Yes.
Ma'am, you're charged with prostitution. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 19th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was working in an undercover capacity in plain clothes when he entered a sexually oriented club and sat down at a table. The officer engaged in conversation with the defendant. The defendant agreed to participate in oral sex with the officer for a fee of $400. The officer notes that the conversation was recorded. The arrest/enforcement team detained the defendant and took her into custody without incident.
Plot twist. This wasn't just a bar hookup, it was an undercover sting. Cops in Texas record these convos, so that $400 offer is now exhibit a moral of the story. If someone at a club starts negotiating like it's Craigslist run, immigration detainers, even Messier.
And I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward. And before you now is a condition of your bond. Probation is lifetime behavior. If I find that you do, I will revoke your bond and put you in custody, man. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with, and then you get shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Can I provide you a lawyer today? Would you like a lawyer?
I have an attorney. ¿Quién es?
Are they supposed to be here today?
Not today. Lo ocupo. ¿Ocupas phone?
Sí, pero no dijo como que no tenía que presentar ese dinero.
She said she hired one, but he's told her that he did not need to be here today.
Person hasn't filed any documents. I don't
No,
know.
de documentos.
I mean, I can, if you would like, I can give you more time. I'm happy to give you a court-appointed lawyer today if you want one. You tell me what you'd like to do. I can, reset you and give you more time. Normally lawyers file documents.
Give me another date.
Okay. Like I said, if you want a free lawyer, I'm happy to give you one today. So if you have problems when you're out there, you can come back and we're happy to give you one.
Ahora regresar, yo tengo uno que
I have one.
Okay. That's fine. I just, hopefully they'll come here for the next setting. I don't know. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We're going to have you sign them, and after that, you'll be free to go. Do you mind filing your conditions, please?
Absolutely.
No engaging in this. You are Mr. Rosabal Matos.
See.
Yes.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Judge, On April 19th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer observed the defendant run a red light on North Shepherd Drive. The officer then observed the defendant's vehicle fail to drive in the designated lane, striking the raised median and causing his tire to go flat. A traffic stop was conducted. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed the defendant to be the driver and sole occupant and to have bloodshot eyes and slurred speech. The officer could smell an odor of alcoholic beverage emitting from the defendant's vehicle and from his person upon his exit from the vehicle. Officer Castrejon spoke to the defendant due to the defendant being a Spanish-only speaker. The defendant admitted to consuming one beer. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. The officer noted a 2 out of 6 on the HGN, but also noted that the defendant would not follow the stimulus during distinct and sustained nystagmus at maximum deviation. Therefore, the officer was not able to observe the clues on that basis. The officer noted a 3 out of 8 on the walk and turn and a 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read on a recording in Spanish at the Joint Processing Center. The defendant consented to a breath test. The 15-minute waiting period was observed and the breath test came out to a 0.161 and a 0.153.
Any prior DWIs and a license?
No prior DWIs, Judge. I'm checking on the license.
Que si tengo licencia.
Find
Sí tengo.
sufficient probable cause.
Voy a averiguar que sí es
Case.
obligatorio. Sí,
I'm
con
ordering
espacio.
you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. If you're not in this country with proper permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you, they will put a detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with and they get shipped off to immigration. They sleep it daily, hourly. So behave while you're in this country. You get no more warnings from us. Do you understand?
Okay.
If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you're also ordered not to drive.
Sí tengo.
I do have.
Judge, it appears that it is on.
Parece que sí.
As
Sí,
long as you have a
Texas.
valid license and liability insurance, car insurance, then you will be able to drive. That is also a condition that you maintain liability insurance.
Es como que me da aseguranza de
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
¿Tiene la capacidad de ocupar su propio abogado?
No.
No.
I can have you fill out an application, but I need to know everything about you. I need to know what kind of work you do, how much money you make, how much money you have at the bank, what kind of car you drive, any other sources of income, and I'll take a look to see whether you qualify. For now, Deputy Miranda's going to give an application. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we take a look at everything. Please.
Just real quick on 13, top of 13, was that state fund conditions?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's another study. Easy. Next judge is page 23, Vera. 2560573.
I know, don't be calling me on Monday because I'll be for margarita.
You are Mr. Vera Quiroz.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 17th, 2025, an officer responded to a call for service for a possible failure to stop and give information in Harris County, Texas. The witness stated to the officer that he observed the defendant strike a maroon four-door sedan from behind, drive around the vehicle, and then drive away from the scene without stopping to provide any information. The witness followed the defendant and observed the defendant to increase and decrease his speed frequently, failed to drive in a single lane of traffic, and nearly strike other vehicles until his car became disabled on Highway 249. The witness observed the defendant to exit the vehicle and to be the sole occupant and operator of the vehicle. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, glossy bloodshot eyes, and poor balance. The officer detained the defendant, and while removing a pocket knife from the defendant's pocket, the officer observed a bulge and a plastic feeling in the defendant's pocket. The officer observed a faint odor of marijuana, so he removed the plastic bag, which did in fact contain a usable amount of marijuana. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 was recorded on the HGN, a 5 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 1 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC audio was played for the defendant, and the defendant agreed to a breath test, which yielded a .148 and a .143. The marijuana weighed approximately 0.2 ounces.
Priors, no license. Mr.
No,
Vera,
no priors, Judge.
No.
okay.
And
No driver's license.
No tengo
Mr.
antecedentes.
Vera, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now, as a condition of your bond, not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. With you, I'm going to test you 50 days from today. If I find that you continue to use marijuana, I will revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail. If you're not in this country with proper documentation and you go to jail and immigration finds you, they will put a detainer on you because they sweep it daily. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are not allowed to drive if you don't have a Texas driver license and liability insurance. That is also a condition of your bond. You do not have a license, you will be signing an affidavit with me today.
2 ounces of weed and a .14 back. This guy's facing a double whammy. Judge Fleischer's warning about immigration detainers is chilling one wrong move. And he's in ICE custody faster than you can say green card. Also, who carries a pocket knife to a DWI stop? Bad decisions all around.
Mr. Vera, in this short life that we have, do not drive, because if you do, you will pay dearly. Do you understand? This is a promise that you're going to make to me, that you're documenting that you're not going to drive. Nothing you say can justify driving at all. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you get a license and insurance, come talk to me, and then I'm happily will take this off. But until that point, you do. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? How old are you, Mr. Barra?
Then
23?
Do you work?
Yes.
Do you have the ability, do you have the funds to hire a lawyer?
No.
If you want, I can give you an application and you can apply for a court-appointed lawyer. I need to know everything about you and I'll see whether you qualify. Above all else, do not use, because it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand? Okay. Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You're eventually going to meet with pretrial services for your bond conditions. After that, we'll take a look at your application. Come on.
Judge, we have one more. Plaza.
Dang, Glossa, you're earning, huh? You're doing great.
The bottom of page 8, Judge. I don't know how to say that.
You are Arthur Mukes. Mr. Mukes, you're charged with resisting arrest, facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Please.
Thank you, Your Honor. A law enforcement officer was dispatched to a disturbance call on April 19th, 2025 in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant to be outside of the residence with what appeared to be an injured hand. The defendant stated he injured his hand while punching a wall when he was in an argument with his wife. The defendant stated that he had been drinking Crown and requested medical attention to the scene. The officer attempted to make contact with the female at the residence who refused to open the door. She only stated that the defendant should not be there at the residence and that she was in fear of the defendant. The defendant advised that he would leave the location and return at a later time. Later on that day, the defendant contacted Precinct 7 dispatch and stated that he was going to kick the door down at the aforementioned residence. The officers returned to the location and made contact with the defendant, who stated that he was going to kick the door down as soon as the officers left the location. Due to the defendant's apparent intoxication and the danger he posed to himself and others, the officers attempted to place the defendant in custody for public intoxication. The defendant became actively resistant and pulled away from officers while being escorted to the vehicle. The defendant told the officer, quote, "I'm coming for you," multiple times as he refused transport. The assistance of 4 officers was required to place the defendant in a patrol vehicle. The officer notes that the defendant actively resisted for 7 minutes and 13 seconds.
Mr. Mukes, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward. Now's not the time. I know you're itching to say something, but look, I've got a bunch of prosecutors here. I don't want you to say something that hurts your case. Stop. Resist all attempts. If you want, I can give you a lawyer today and you can give your side to the lawyer. Okay. But right now, don't. You're only hurting yourself more when you think you're helping. Don't. I'm trying to help you here, Mr. Mukes.